Okay, so we got to get this stripped. And then... What the hell? Okay. I'm just looking up some notes in case I need it, because I have not stripped this before. Well, I'm not stripped that, but I've never worked with a JST connector, so a little bit new here, just trying to make sure I get best practices. Wondering if I have to strip this back just a little bit more. But, we shall see. Alright. What are you working on? I am working on fixing the batteries in this little laptop here. One of them was defective, and it's my MNT Pocket Reform little laptop that, I love this little guy. It's fully open source, right to repair, but I gotta tinker to get it to work as I would really like it. So these two battery packs here we're about to replace, but I need to figure out. So if I put... Okay. Let's look up a YouTube video or something. How to crimp JST connectors. Have the tool. It's just a little bit different, I'm noticing. Like that project, too expensive though. How's the performance on it? I think it's got great performance. But you can upgrade the ARM CPU and everything. Okay, so I don't need as much of a lead as I thought I did. Here, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Okay. Okay. These are really nice up-close photos. Okay, each crimp has 2 sets of wings, which you will bend in the process. One set holds the wires, the other holds the insulation. Okay. It's a 2-pin housing. In this picture, you can see another view of the metal that is bent up to grab the plastic. Okay, so that's how this works. I'm just trying to make heads or tails of this. Okay, so the crimping tools. Bought these about 20 bucks. JST crimping procedure. Start by stripping the end of the wire, then giving it a little twist. I use a stripping tool called a Nipix. The strip should be about 2 to 3 millimeters. Okay, where the hell's my tape measure? There it is. So 2 to 3 millimeters. Yeah, that's enough already there, pretend. You're gonna watch me learn and do something together. Then break off a connector from the strand, hold it in your left hand, then stick the wire wings into the 1.6 millimeter section of the tool. Okay, so I need to get this one right here. Okay. Come on, damn it, break off! There we go. Okay, so we've got one JST connector. Just switched to Linux and trying to trouble running a game and trying to play Watch Dogs 2, and it's still installed on a different HDD, and like I'm running Ubisoft. Connect through Lutris. The game runs very poorly. Is that normal, or should I install Ubisoft Connect on the same HDD? I don't know if it would be the same HDD. You might have to play with Proton versions. I use a project called Proton GE, Proton Glorious Egg Roll, which tends to have a lot more fixes and everything. But you do have to know that some games still are not optimized well. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. Okay, I gotta turn the light up here. This is probably gonna be brighter than it ever usually is, because I usually, much like Batman, prefer to be in a cave. Much like Batman, I wish I had a bunch of money. Which makes me unlike Batman. Okay. Stick the... Okay, so we're trying to get the 1.6... Oh, we need to just put that in. Okay, that makes life a little easier. Okay. I think that's a good crimp. Yep, that's a good crimp. Okay, so the 1.6 end goes in. And then use the end of the crimper to bend the wings out so it can fit in there. And then we need the 1.9 millimeter end. Most games run better on Windows. The only problem I had was on the game was my spacebar didn't work. Game has like gold on Proton DB. Could be your drivers. It could be... There's so many things that could cause that. I haven't played Watch Dogs 2, so don't know what to tell you. I know it works great for most of my games. Okay, come on. I don't know how y'all electronics guys do this, dealing with tiny shit all day long. But here I am. Okay, so... Come on. Okay, so it needs to get smushed up. Okay. Alright, we got the spine key. Okay, now you should have a crimped connection. Okay, so now we are putting together the replacement batteries I have for my MNT Pocket Reform. Also, I just want to say I hate JST connectors. I've only done one, and I hate it. Got a tiny tweezer. Motherfucker. Yeah, I hate these connectors. I hate them! Hey Mario, how's it going? Alright, let's try this again. What icon is wiggling? Oh, that's the Element Messenger. That's the decentralized communicator app that uses the Matrix protocol that I've talked about many times. It's like Discord, but open source, decentralized. You can join my Matrix server if you want. There's not nearly as many people on there as there is my my Discord server, but still a great place. Worst case scenario, I have the soldered connectors, and what I may end up doing is just get some heat shrink, solder them up together, and then go from there. Not the most ideal thing, but I remember when I was looking at these, it was a big pain in the ass. This is the longest watch streak. 70 streams. Damn. Linux really better than Windows, or so you gotta know what you're doing. And let me put it this way. Everyone starts out knowing nothing. When I started using Linux, I knew nothing. It is a lot better. Let me phrase it this way. How many people do you know actually like Windows? And I'm going to make this very clear. The argument isn't, well, all the apps run on it. The argument is, do you like it? Most people complain about Windows all the damn time. You just put up with it. But no one actually is like, God, I love Windows. This is the most amazing operating system. Now, let me make this very clear. You didn't like Windows 7. You liked Windows 7 in comparison to the other Windows versions. Windows Vista was such a low bar. No wonder people actually liked it. Windows Vista was the reason why I forced myself to get into Linux. Because I saw the enshittification that was going on. What the hell? I use Windows Vista Home Basic. So I hated Windows Vista because I had printers and stuff that actually worked. Then we got XP, and suddenly they didn't work. And no one likes having to buy hardware just because your software suddenly says we don't want to work with it. Please be a good crimp. Please be a good crimp. Yep. Fuck it. We're soldering. Because I see where this is heading, and it's going to lead to me throwing a lot of things. Luckily, I prepared for Plan B. Just give me a second to clear off a space here and grab my soldering iron. Okay, the only other complaint I had about this laptop. What am I soldering? I'm trying to put the battery. Or I wonder if I have to tin the connector. Okay, this is one annoying thing with this laptop, is that Ethernet connector. But then again, it's all of those laptops that have that foldable Ethernet connector. Alright, so let me take a look at what we have here. Okay, I know I just saw you a second ago. I had all of connectors here a second ago. Those are the M2 screws. Oh, there they are. So here's what I'm curious about. So we have these JST pre-crimped connectors here, right? So what I'm curious about is, yep, they flipped the polarity. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is put red to black so I don't have to redo these. Get another. I mean, to be fair, it's only me that's really going to see this. Yeah, see, they have tin connectors and all that, so we'll get two of these. Ever played games off an SD card before on PC? You can do it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Okay, soldering iron. Let's move shit out of the way. Let's get... Damn it. USB cable got crushed a little bit. No big deal. Part of why I like the A connectors a little bit better. You can repair these a little easier. Hot take, but I think Apple's Lightning connector on an iPhone was a much better connector physically. Again, that's just my take. Okay, let's get... Okay. And then we want to match the spine up with red being black. Okay. Now I know it's not going to make sense that we're flipping the colors over. God damn it. Drop the connector. Could be worse. Could be the soap. And I'm still waiting on PCBWay to make my upgraded aluminum backplate. So I can improve the thermals and everything, but that'll probably be another week. Let's not bite into the cable too much if we can avoid it. Okay. Oh yeah, forgot heat shrink. It's probably important to do that. We've done it. Do you know a great movie we can watch by the end of the month? Downfall. Not seen that movie. Remind me about it in Discord. I think this weekend, not this weekend, the upcoming weekend, next weekend, we will be watching Aliens. Alright, let's get the heat shrink going. Okay, so... 1 by 45 millimeter? That. Nope. Okay. So we're going to put the 1.5s down. Slide those. Now we'll just leave that one off for now. Worst case, I will order the exact same batteries from Aramit. Hopefully they can come with the connector attached. Okay. Let's get the solder iron out. Yes, this is my little soldering iron kit in a 3D printed case with a pine sol. Do I want a chisel tip or do I want... Nah, let's do a chisel. Make my life a little easier. All right. Let's unplug that from the Pine Power, and let's plug in another device. Let's get the new power supply out of here so I don't accidentally burn that. And let's get the second battery out of the way so I don't destroy that. All right. God damn it. This is the problem with having a very limited workspace. So I do too much shit, and then you go ADHD, and you're like, I want to do everything in a workspace. And then you're like, no, I don't have the room to do everything. Bigger damn house. Okay. And let's switch to the other camera so you can get maybe a better view. And see, this is why I did the two camera setup. Which a person with your knowledge gets paid. It really depends geographically where you're at. I happen to be in a very low cost, not very low cost, but heard a squeak, that was weird. I happen to be in a relatively low cost area, so I'm making just about 6 figures. Okay. That is one connection. Now let's protect ourselves and sleeve it. so that one's taken care of. Now, yes, this is going to be a little bit longer by nature of the fact that, well, yeah, it's technically an extension. But I can always tuck this wire around this end over there. Not a big deal. So we have this chisel tip, and let's heat this boy up. Now this side is already tinned on both ends, so hopefully I should be able to just... Nope. Need a little bit more solder. All right. Quick and dirty connections, but they'll work. Now to, I have a hairdryer upstairs I could use this for. But, let's see if, Nope. Okay, so let's do a sanity check here. All right, we've got the red wire is going to the black connection. And we basically flip the polarity. The reason why is, if I can get that just right. Here, hold on. So the reason why we flip the polarity, that crotch shot over there, is, all right, so if we see in the MNT pocket reform, can I get that a little bit closer to y'all? But if you see the black side, let me pull it out. Might give you a better visual. So we need to get this connection over here. Thanks for the follow, Kuro. I am working on getting the battery replaced for this little guy over here. So if you see, the polarity is reversed on these two wires. So we need to match that polarity. So the red became black and black became red. So I didn't have to recrimp all of that. Now this is going to be a much longer connection. Shoot. Let me grab a lighter. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so there's an ad that's about to start on Twitch. So I'm gonna run the BRB screen and grab a lighter and a hairdryer. We're gonna try the hair. No. I'm gonna grab a lighter. I'll be right back. So, and then we'll get to shrinking these connectors over here. So be right back. Adding phone numbers to user account is not supported by this home server. I don't think I have it on my server yet, but give me 1 second. I'll be right back. That was actually a dumbass, and there's a lighter in my desk I forgot about just for this reason. So, we're gonna quickly just get this shrunk. Okay, just a little bit of carbon deposit from getting a little too close, no biggie. Well, bam! All right. Managed to get that one. So here's the annoying thing, is because I made that connector a little bit long. Just gotta tuck some wires back and give it the RuPaul treatment. Look at girl, sashay, sashay. Oh, and one end is just slightly longer because I, of course, crimped it. Get these tweezers so I can get this in. Okay, now I'm wondering. Snug fit. Okay. They should good. Just gonna tuck that in right over there. That's one. So what I noticed is the spine is just slightly thicker than the stock connector, which is what's giving me. Do your next movie night with the laptop you're fixing. I'll watch the video off of here. I don't think I'll stream from it. Okay, so the other thing I have to do is I have to add these little pads over here, which I did pick up. So these are air emit batteries. Now the issue with the air emit was one was defective. I will probably order them again. They came all the way from Germany. So I just want to match things up. Now the batteries I ordered came from eBay. They were well rated. So we shall see if this fixes my woes. Okay. Let us start with the black wire. For some reason this end's a little bit short. Just removing a couple millimeters. All right. See, this OBS bot cam is still useful. Oh, heat shrink. Where did the heat shrink go? Get 2 pieces. This is one of the easiest things to forget. Heat shrink. Okay, so if I recall correctly, let's pull up the air emit battery just to confirm. My article's calling the new ESP32 vulnerable a backdoor because everyone likes to sensationalize bullshit. Yeah, the spines on these are a little bit thicker, which is why it was so hard to get in. Okay, so the black wire goes to the left. So yeah, we have to reverse the polarity on this as well. All right. It's just some undocumented commands from what I recall. Alright, let's heat this bad boy back up. Get my little solder over here. Nothing like a little cancer going into your lungs. Isn't that right, guys? Do not like that connection. Wire's getting hot. Back off for a second. There we go. Looks like a good connection. Let that pine sol cool down for a second, so I don't accidentally. Okay. These were cut a little bit too short. Okay. If you're using leaded solder. Everything causes cancer. Almost forgot the heat shrink. So easy to forget that shit. You know what? I gotta strip just a little bit more off. Barely any to get a grip. Now we should be good. Rock, do not fuck with me right now. I am in the middle of working on some hot shit. My dog just came in. Need like get a wet sponge or something. I know what I need to get. I need to get a solder tip cleaner of some kind. God damn it. Part-time hand modeling now? No. I do got sexy hands. She's ugly, but she works. And speaking of ugly, get that heat shrunk. Heat shrank. God damn, that fucking lighter's hot. Alright. I love having high-speed internet. From what I've seen, you add flux before the solder. You can. This had flux embedded inside the solder. Why you get rosin core solder. So red connects to black. Alright. Polarity is crossed. Okay. She is in there snug. She got power. She's balanced. 3.9 volts each cell, 41%. She ain't pretty, but she works. All right, let's get back to... so you can see what I'm doing. Gratuitous crotch shot. All right. So now I've got a couple of these tape. There we are. I was looking for tweezers with the pointy end to open up the box. So now what we're gonna do is see which one of these has the thickness we desire. Ah. Oh, right now I need to replace the drive belt and DVD player. Man, I haven't done that in a minute. I haven't had to touch a DVD player in a minute. Drive belt and a DVD player? You can, like... Yeah, that's a tough one. I haven't done those in a minute. Where do you get those parts these days? Well, it's just a band, right? Okay, so these are... Ceiling foam, 5mm wide insulation. Okay, so that's one option. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're just bands. You just can't use like a regular rubber band. You have to use a what you call it? Something with like a reinforced core. Not quite nylon or like what 3D printers have, but yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, this might be more up our alley. This guy right here. So these. So this is a little bit thinner because we don't need it quite so thick. Let's compare thickness to the battery. The old battery. Okay, let's take a little bit. So we're going to compare it to the little pads here on this battery here. Yep, that looks like it's the money shot right there. Kobe! Alright, now where the hell did I put the scissors? Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. Oh, the dry rotten belt? Yeah. You know what sucks even more than that dry rots? Your tires. Tires dry rotting is annoying. Okay, good. Let's cut 4 equal length strips. By the way, has anyone caught the new Suits LA TV show? I've been watching it. It's on its 2nd episode. I don't have high hopes for this show, to be honest. If it manages to survive until a season 2, I will be shocked. If it gets a season 2, I will be shocked. It feels like they're forcing the whole story a little too hard, too fast, too soon. Whereas, like, on the original Suits TV show, they let it build up. Suits LA. There's a new spin-off of the original Suits TV show. Yeah, I love Suits. I'm rewatching the original show right now. What am I on? Season 4, I think, right now, after rewatching the show. Loved the original show. I think they had such a great chemistry and everything. Whereas the new one, it feels really forced. I'm hoping that they can somehow make it, you know, better. But, like, you know, it was really great to see, like, the progression of the show. Like, you went from, like, wow, Lewis is an asshole, to, like, wow, Lewis, I actually like him, but he's still an asshole. You get what I mean? Although you kind of get to understand Lewis's perspective as the show goes on. The one thing that does annoy me about Suits is there's so many moments in that show when you're like, you'd be disbarred. You'd be disbarred. This wouldn't be how it plays out in real life, but I digress. His wedding was heartwarming. Oh, yeah. Louis Litt's wedding was really nice, especially knowing the ups and downs of Sheila and everything. Although it's kind of funny, you can tell in the beginning of when they wrote the show, they didn't intend for Louis to be Jewish, and then somehow you see him flip. How do I know this? Well, there was one episode where they had a flashback with him and Harvey, and Louis was like, he's a schmuck. And Harvey had to correct him. You mean schmuck? Which is such a, a well-known Yiddish word that almost every Jewish person, it's one of our first words as a vocabulary we learn. We learn to call you a schmuck and a putz before we say mommy and daddy. Okay. It's dirty. Did not know. I thought he was Jewish from the beginning. No, there was a few moments where you could tell they didn't really do that, and then they shoehorned in that he's Jewish. Like, here's the funny thing. The one episode where, he goes to, Jessica and is like, I want Rosh Hashanah off. That would have never had to be something that a lawyer would have to ask because that's religiously protected. And stuff like that. There's like little things in there that I'm like, I can tell you shoehorned this in. But unless you're Jewish, you are not going to really tell. Speaking of Judaism, not to segue too hard, but somehow in my Opera GX post, there was some anti-Semitic comments going on. Not towards me, but towards someone else in the thread. And I had to block like 5 or 6 people that were dogpiling. It was the stupid, Israeli-Palestinian shit. But in this case, it was genuine anti-Semitism, especially when they're like responding Jew, 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 Jude, or, stuff like that. Like, it had nothing to do with, legitimate criticism of Israel. To be fair, Louis is the kind of person you would think would have a cot in his office. You're right there. Okay. So, let me show you what we're looking for. So, this is a Raspberry Pi. God damn, this is so weird to, like, orient it. Okay, I'm just gonna have the thing move to you, okay? So, if you can see, there is a little LED screen over here. I don't know if you can read that. What we were looking for... Just gonna back this out for a second. And if we can... Well, I'm just gonna... and turn this off. Ooh, God. So what we were looking for was the balance over there. So the problem that I had was one battery pack was 0.3 to 0.4 volts off. And that's what was causing issues with it to retain the charge. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this guy in. Come on. Get it. There you go. So we have a USB-C PD connection, the same one that was powering my soldering iron. That's going to plug in. Oh, God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me? Did I just unplug the power for this? Okay. Now I gotta figure out why. Okay, come on. Oh, there's a switch in the back. I'm just a dumbass. Okay. Alright, it's plugged in. It's recognizing that it's charging. We're at 39%. And it's at 20 volts with 0.8 amps coming in. So I'd call that a success. God damn, I'm blinding myself. I instantly hate it just because of the linear keyboard. What, this guy over here? I love this little guy. Admittedly, I'm still probably going to be using the other laptop too. But, yeah. Okay, so it's charging right now. Now, let's do... I think I still have the thermal pads down here. Rosin core solder. High temp masking tape. Ah, here we are. Thermal pads. Alright, so the other issue I was having was it was apparently overheating. Now, the full fix is going to be the aluminum backplate here. We'll talk about that in a second. PCB way is going to be... Is it going to stream on that thing? No. This is a coffee shop device. This is like the device I want to use on an airplane because it's got less space that it takes up. This will be my device that I take to DEF CON for the actual event. You know, because it's just very small, compact. I can do my notes on here. I've already got Proton VPN working on there because if you're at DEF CON, you kind of don't know who to trust in terms of networking. All right. Now, so... this top always sticks because of the thermal pads. Okay, so the issue we have in terms of thermals on this guy is, as you can see, there's a little bit of copper here, and then it's a PCB technically they're using. So it's insulating a lot of the heat. So it's not allowing, it's retaining a lot of the heat, to be honest. So I have a new one coming in that's going to fix a lot of that issue. All right, let's see. I know what I need to do. I'll have some new thermal pads for the new one, because they recommended 2.5 millimeter for the new ones. But we need to at least... Okay. Got that much. People were saying that they needed to cut a thermal pad for this little bit over here. Alright, let's see how this fits. So it's the power regulator over there. I know I gotta take off the insulating tape over there. I'm just trying to make sure I've got my... Okay, so it's pushing in at the corner. Using the Darknet Diaries, and they had a guy who created the DEF CON badges on. Oh, nice. I haven't really kept up on Darknet Diaries. Nothing against them, just been busy. Although I do find it funny as well that I've managed to piss off a lot of people on TikTok about the TikTok and Opera GX thing. That was kind of funny to me. Funny. Great listen while commuting to work. Yeah. Oh, they're great. I have a Darknet Diaries sticker on my mic arm. Picked it up while I was at DEF CON. do it. Give that a second of pressure. Would you try to get a C64 on an IRC chat for kicks? That sounds like a fun project, actually. I haven't really had the pleasure of working with a Commodore 64. It'd be fun to tinker with that. After bashing my head in for a bit, to be honest, but I think it'd be fun. Okay, I think we got it because it's sticking now the way one would feel with good traction. Now, these are 2 millimeters thick, so I have to get, money shot. Look at that. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this is apparently the Wi-Fi chip was overheating. So this is one of the partial remedies on top of getting the pure aluminum backplate. Someone open sourced the pure aluminum backplate. So PCBWay is going to be sponsoring the upgrade that I'm doing on this. So they're paying for the part, then they're paying me money on top of it to talk great things about them. So they're making an anodized aluminum, 6061 aluminum backplate that's going to be matching the purple here on the rest of the case. And then they're also going to be laser engraving my logo into it. So I will have not one, but 2 laptops with my logo on it. I would have never trusted Opera GX. Oh, I don't know why anyone actually trusts that. And, like, the biggest answers I get is, well, it looks pretty. Oh, well, it has, this feature. And I'm sitting here like, you can theme any browser. Oh, I think the dumbest response that I had is, well, Opera GX has the ability to play my music in there. And I'm like, have you heard of Spotify or Apple Music or a local music player? Like, no offense. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. You'll understand what I'm saying if you work professionally in the field. If you don't, it's going to sound like an asshole. You never really realize how dumb people are until people open their mouths sometimes. What if I told you Mac OS is better than Linux? I used to like Mac, don't get me wrong. My issues with Mac isn't the OS per se, it's the Mac computers. I've always liked Mac OS. If you actually notice, Pop OS is styled to look very similar to Mac OS X. And that's part of the reason why I like it. And that's actually the complaint I had when I was trying to get Tuxedo OS themed the same way that I wanted. Because Tuxedo OS is basically a Debian-type Linux, or another Ubuntu fork, either way. 6 half a dozen in the other, for the most part. I know some people are going to chew my head off for that, but it is what it is. Anyway, and my only complaint with Tuxedo OS that the laptop came with was I was trying to get KDE stylized to look like my MacBook, Mac OS X, but the issue that I kept having was it wouldn't let me. Opera GX and they sell your data, and which browser should I use? There's 4 browsers I generally recommend. There is Firefox, which I use daily for a lot of my things. There's Florp, which is a Firefox fork that looks really, really pretty. I can show you in a sec. I'm just in the middle of fixing another laptop over here. And there is LibreWolf, which is a hardened fork of Firefox. Some people say it's a little bit slower because of the hardenings, things like that, but it's a nice choice. And then, of course, if you want to stick with a Chromium-based browser, which is what Opera is based off of, there is always Brave. Owned by a Chinese company, was actually known for actually selling users' data. Wait, what? Project of the month? Oh, that's this little MNT pocket reform. Fully open source, fully right to repair. As you saw me literally installing new batteries in this, because one of the ones that came in were defective. Just dropped. Okay, so what we did. Alright, now what I'm gonna do is do some benchmarks with this. So we're gonna get this kind of toasty, because the issue that this had was the CPU would overheat a little bit. Like, I can feel this getting a little bit warm as it is right now in the back plate. And then it would have the Wi-Fi die. Just like it already did. Eventually, what I'm going to do is take the bezel off here so that I can install the 5G antennas in here. I know this is free, but I appreciate your content. Thank you. My pleasure. Saw your video on Password Manager. Was wondering if you could give me a few thoughts on Keeper. I haven't played with it. I have no opinions. And I have enough password managers. I'm not going to play with another one right now. Because I currently am using 4 password managers for different work tasks. God damn it. The wrong password. Okay, battery voltage is dropped to 3.7%. We've got... Okay, come on. Load up YouTube. Let's get a YouTube video going on this. Come on. I think the Wi-Fi just dropped. Yep. Yeah, she's toasty. Just on the back. Alright, let's see. System monitor. Okay. So let's at least do something to drain the battery a little bit faster. Where, oh where, there you are. So I got this connector, so I didn't have to use the whole, you know, Cat 6A IX connector for the Ethernet. So this is an Ethernet connection. Just plug that in there. I'm gonna plug that in, get this to YouTube, have it play a bunch of YouTube videos just to drain the battery, and see where we're at with that. New hacker, old chief, I'm new to this channel. I am a cybersecurity engineer who overall likes to tinker. Okay, so let's pull up level 1 techs. Okay, so let's we'll just play that video and turn off the audio. Got volume control. Okay, put that at 0%. See how the battery lasts on this. Edge is not bad. Edge sucks. It's Microsoft. Chromium bullshit. At that point, just use Chromium. Okay, cool. Alright, let me get the trash off of my desk. So the Wi-Fi chip keeps dropping. Yeah, it seems to be that it's heat related. Of course, I can always, add a Wi-Fi card in there, but I was hoping not to use the 5G cell data modem that I'm planning on attaching. They did test it. It's just, I don't know. There's also a chance that it could be defective, but we shall see. I'll hold on to those batteries while we're at it. Put the screws in. Let's keep these connectors together. So far, it seems to be holding battery a lot better than it did before. Admittedly, I'm waiting for their new chip package, which they're planning to have a new one with the RK3588 that's going to, what's the word? Have the Wi-Fi built in. It could also be a Wi-Fi chip positioning issue. You know, I should have turned the power off to the system before I did anything. Okay, so now the connection is established, but it's kind of toasty. So I may have to improve the Wi-Fi antenna on here. Nope, network dropped completely once I did that. Okay. I'll have to look to the forums to see. Thought almost all external cell modems are 3G LTE and thus barely worth it. Nope. They're in 5G, they're in 4G. The only reason I didn't get a 5G modem was, they were like $250, $300 versus $80 for 4G. I mean, it's showing video. It's doing the thing. It's doing the needful. Alright. I'll have to look into that later. Okay, so let's get this guy plugged in. I want to look up the MNT pocket reform issues with the IMX8M Plus. I know there are a few people talking about this chip having some overheating issues, but it is what it is. As frustrated as I can be sometimes, I actually enjoy the puzzle. researching recently, and it felt like hotspot was a better value. It can be, depending on your use case. A lot of that really just comes down to what are you doing with it, and what's your use case. That's the genuine truth when it comes to a lot of this different stuff. So for me, I was hoping to have a dedicated device that I could do the thing. Worst case scenario, I can always have a phone provide the hotspot and then just add a Wi-Fi card to it. A Wi-Fi 5G combo card? I don't think those really exist. Let me see. MNT community. Okay, where did I was like, where did my headphones go? So at least I think we fixed the battery side of it. That's one thing down. I think part of it was, the heat. Let's see. Let's see. What did they say? So you can connect the PoE to network to the one that goes on your computer. I mean, PoE doesn't mean anything. I have it connected to a PoE switch. It just means that a device that connects up may have a PoE connection. And it only injects power if the circuitry is there to tell it. Like, I forgot which one of these cables does it. Yeah. Like, see? This is my PoE connection. And this Raspberry Pi is booting up right now. Well, there's no SD card in it, so it's not booting up, but it's connected. It's powered. See? Lights. But that same cable I can plug into any device, and it's just fine. It's not going to inject power. Wi-Fi dropping constantly. Another Wi-Fi issue. Okay, Wi-Fi reception issue. Okay, so I'm reading it. I have to switch back to the IM extenders for further dog fooding to see how much I can process. Suppose that we can find a better DIY upgrade solution together. Stuck on the headphone PCB as is currently default but higher gain antenna. Stuck on the back, okay. Trying to figure out what they're talking about here. Disconnect issue and the low signal strength issue. They interact with each other but may not necessarily be linked together. But the device has a very low signal strength even when cool, open-topped, and with other antennas. Okay, I have a very cheap AliExpress USB one was marked with an ADT link, blah 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 blah. Number of antennas, I'm sitting roughly in a friend's house. Did not improve much. However, when I placed additional thermal pad over the module, that makes sense. Heatsink for the main CPU. If you're heating it with two other sources, you're cutting into the cooling effectiveness. Or is there more effective? Okay. In your trouble, have you considered trying and better antennas? Dual band, dual chain antenna. And I can always go to the A311D, I just don't want to if I can avoid it. Tried to buy up when committed, blah, 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 blah. Particular database for Wi-Fi. So this is the annoying thing about when you do open source shit, is you gotta dig through so much documentation. This placement seems, as for me, I have a total of 3 thermal pads. One that came installed for the CPU, one I placed for Wi-Fi module, and the last one I placed on the power module. Okay, you have thermal pads on the marked chips below. Okay, that sounds about where I'm doing. There are locations where the Wi-Fi locks it most of the time, blah, 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 blah. This version is 2 years old. Minus pad 82mm. It did not take careful readings. Tape the ribbon cables so it's not crossing with the antenna at all. Okay, so how did you... Oh, you taped it over there. I wonder if that is possibly what's going on. Let me move to the OBS bot camera. Okay. What the hell just popped up on my phone? Oh, red note. Never mind. That's just red note. Okay. Let's get a thicker screw head because I felt like there's a little bit of slack. Okay, that's a little bit better. Snug as a bug. All right. I got some Captain tape down there, so we can use that to see if the cable hack does the trick. All right. All right, let's get me some light. You think capitalism was exploitative? Wait till you try feudalism. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what system you use, so long as you're dealing with humans. Humans are the people that end up doing the exploitation, regardless of what system you throw down. You can propose any singular system you want to fix a problem, but ultimately, it's humans that ruin it. This cable's just too damn long. It's part of the issue. Little display port cable here. Little ribbon. Let's see how we can do this. Alright. Let's think. Let's use our Captain tape over here. That should be good enough. Let's think about this. We have a display cable over here. Ultimately, the connector looks slightly different. Okay, so if I take this, okay, that should do what I need. Okay. Yeah, car, we're live. Okay, cool. Let's get the Captain tape over here. Where is my scissors? There we go, scissors. Okay. Now let's trim off that tab at the top. Okay. Very delicate little cable. So what we're trying to do is gently get the cable out of the way of Wi-Fi. Some people were saying that might be reason for this issue. It's not exactly the prettiest solution, but it should ideally work. Curious if this is actually hitting. I'm at least trying to manage getting this working before I get the aluminum backplate in, which is going to fix all the thermal issues, supposedly. Worst case scenario, I can always add a Wi-Fi card instead of a cell card. Not ideal. Well, to be fair, I can also get an M.2 wireless card, put that in where the NVMe would be instead, and just live off of the 128 gigabyte eMMC until we get the RK3588 with the Wi-Fi chip built in for the package. Hopefully they'll have that in the next couple of months or so. It's going to be an expensive upgrade. Although with my luck, I'll probably end up breaking the antenna or the display connector or something. Okay, it's turning on. Wi-Fi on my PC with Wi-Fi 6. Okay. I'm still on Wi-Fi 5 and plenty happy with it. Alright. Alright, let's see if Xterm let's see. Let's get back to the camera. Nope. The Wi-Fi is dropping out really fast. Nope. Reestablished. That could have just been a fluke. No, in a second. Okay. Apt update. Connecting. Get thicker thermal pads. I will be getting them when I get the, Yep, connection just dropped. So I wonder if I rip off those thermal pads and replace it with the Gelid, will that fix anything? Maybe they're just crap thermal pads. People were saying they're fine, but who knows? I got plenty of them. Now, people were saying 2mm thick ones were plenty fine. And you can feel the resistance when you're pushing it down. So I don't want to get too thick. Though some were saying they got 2.5mm ones for the new case. Have to replace these at some point anyway. May as well be now. Okay, so let's see how we want to do this. Alright, let's get these thermal pads installed. Dropping everything today. Alright, we've got that. So let's get the tweezers over here. Mark that with the tweezer where I need to cut. Okay. Now we need another tweezer. That guy's gonna be over there. What's up, Shiraz? How's it going? That guy. All right. Now. Most recently, if someone has actually circumvented any cybersecurity measures through physical means other than the obvious stuff like USBs, and the answer to that is yes, all the time. Absolutely. Physical pen testing is a whole field in and of itself. There's all sorts of amazing ways that it's actually been done. Remember, I was reading, I think it was out of Technion University in Israel. Someone actually crammed a bunch of electronics inside of a pita pocket, like the food, and then was able to intercept things. There was what was the interesting one that I read about? The very interesting one was when they were able to infiltrate a system by using the AC alternating currents and everything. Thank you for the follow. Definitely not Dilbert. Okay. I have a feeling we may actually need thicker thermal pads. You've been onto something there, buddy. I mean, it's pushing back, but I feel like we could have a snugger fit, so I may have to order some 2.5 millimeter pads. And to the time the modern community was able to circumvent the security of the Wi-Fi using a fucking paper clip and bridging 2 pins between both processors, the Wii had 2 processors. Oh, I didn't even know about that one. But yeah, It's very interesting and amazing how people are able to actually do physical bypasses of different things. And I'm not just talking like under the door tools, I'm talking about in terms of things like you're talking about there, where you can, bridge the processor or something like that. 2 paper clips. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, you learn about all sorts of things when I was at DEF CON too. This MNT pocket reform is definitely turning into a little labor of love to get this guy going. I will be honest and say, while I love this as the project for what it is not a project that I would recommend to a basic user. This is the kind of project that you should be doing if you know you're going to be running into issues and you might need to customize and tinker and even CNC a part or two once in a while. But yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna need to get some thicker thermal pads. I need to get some anyway. What was the command? Oh. Okay, we are managing to get some repos. So it's definitely on the Wi-Fi. Definitely grabbing some stuff. But the question is the Wi-Fi going to drop out any second like it's been doing? Yep, and it did. That's annoying. Wait, where did we go? Oh, this is my little mini laptop I've been working on, fixing and everything. Okay, so... Okay, so... It still is not working, so I'm going to have to leave a comment on there. Oh, wait, the Wi-Fi's back. That is strange. It sort of is. It's fully open source and right to repair with an ARM CPU. This was a project I backed a little over a year ago. Okay, so I am getting a stronger signal than I ever did before. Interesting. So connection is cutting out. Kind of. We've been surmising in the community that, it's a heat-related issue. So I just ripped out the thermal pads, put new ones in. Now, the other thing that I have, going, just so you understand, is, here, I'll show you. There is a project on GitHub that I came across, through the MNT community. God damn it. 1 second. Let me log into my account, use my security key, press the button. So I did manage to, I think, improve the Wi-Fi signal by moving the display connector and then rerouting the Wi-Fi antenna. It's still kind of iffy, I'm noticing, but it's a slight improvement. I feel like the connection's about to drop. No, it just it went up again. But anyway, nope, it's grabbing. That repo just must have been slow. Okay, so let's go to my stars. Had an issue with the default driver for Wi-Fi dongle. Yeah, I remember with one of the big selling points of Windows 8 was they were finally going to make an ARM-compatible version just for no one to use it because it was buggy as shit. Well, that's part Microsoft's fault, part, the ARM developers' fault. Like, who is it? Qualcomm that's behind a lot of that shit? And they've been annoying as shit when it comes to, support. I love the keyboard on this. I love the fact that it has a mechanical keyboard in a laptop. Okay, so we're going to put this network card through its paces right now, as well as give the battery a little test since we just updated that. So we're going to have it do an apt upgrade. Decent amount of, basic Wi-Fi updates and everything like that. It's probably going to be slow as hell. But this was never bought to be a, workhorse. And the Wi-Fi just cut out. That's just great. So I'm wondering if part of the issue is that it just needs some updates. I'm wondering if there's an update in here. But it's definitely toasty on the back. Alright, so we have the gigabit Ethernet connection connected. It's using an IX port, so there's an IX to the Cat6a connection. ARM desktops were basically dead until they released the new Snapdragon that they started throwing in the new Surface Pros and shit. Yeah, but the problem is, Qualcomm is apparently not that great at support and everything, too. That's part of the issue. Alright, so someone released a Tinker project. I'm going to show you this. That they managed to figure out the backplate and then CNC a new backplate. As you can see, it matches in. It's purple just like mine. So PCBWay is currently making it. I use this project over here And then let me see if I can find the it's, yep. Then I made a modified version of it. So basically, it's gonna look like this. I just used their PDF. Thanks to Jason Morley for making this. And this is kind of what it's gonna look like when it's all laser engraved. So the back here is gonna be purple, and it's gonna have my logo laser engraved, which I think is just gonna make it look fantastic. Alright. So, I think it'll be interesting once that's all done. For certain packages, yes, restart as needed. Alright, let's see. Journal control, the GFS are unlikely. Nothing changed about my... It could be noted I accidentally installed some packages. I'll check that. Yes, minor pocket form. Alright. I'm gonna have to report back into that. After rerouting the antenna, and taping down the display connector, and adding a thermal pad to the Wi-Fi and power side of the IMX8M Plus, as some had suggested, and I even replaced all 3 thermal pads to ensure that wasn't the issue. Can you just turn off the Ethernet to test the Wi-Fi? I've already tested the Wi-Fi. That's not the issue. I'm now doing updates and I need the Ethernet and a stable connection for that. As long as they got their contracts with Apple and Android phone makers, I don't think they see why they should offer community support. In their view, they won. Well, it's a bad view to have because Risk 5 is just around the corner. I mean, if they don't change their tune, Risk 5 can easily eat their lunch. Stop. What's up, Mohammed? How's it going? Way to send the new aluminum backplate. Hope this... God damn it. Okay, can you share your screen? Not on this. This guy, it won't let me share the screen in the ways that I want. Right now, this MNT Pocket Reform is just doing some system updates here. But I feel like it's a thermal issue because that CPU is toasty. Let me see. Okay, so it's setting up all of the updates. Maybe it's need cleaning. No, it's not a cleaning it needs. It's just a little project we're working on. This was an open source little gadget, and I just replaced the batteries in it, which that fixed it. The battery side of things. But now I'm trying to get the Wi-Fi working. And I could drop a Wi-Fi card into the M.2 slot. I just don't want to. Okay. Networking is completely rebooting. New kernel being built. Now, I've already replaced the thermal pads. So it's not that. I have a new backplate that's fully aluminum that should alleviate the heat issues. God damn, that's warm. Ah. Like, that's uncomfortably warm. I think the issue is just I have to wait till the aluminum backplate comes in from PCB way. I'm just being an impatient fucker. But it's doing updates right now. Okay, come on. 90% on the updates. I can't wait till they get the RK3588 package to have a CPU built in. That would alleviate a lot of my issues. Come on. 97% done with updates. Okay. WLAN 0 interface. Okay, so 98%. Doing the update in it, RAM FS. See you later, Muhammad. The annoying part of tinkering is the waiting. Okay, so let's at least get this stuff out of the way while I'm waiting. Okay, Python. The hell? update. Okay, so it's giving me an error after doing all the upgrades. I wonder if it missed a repo because of the network issues. Let's see. Running RT update hook. What the hell? This is annoying. Okay, so getting errors. Let's see what I can find by digging this up. Pocket reform. Check the error message. Sudo dpackage --configure -a. Fix -broken. Okay, let's see. Encountered. File processing. Python 3. Python 3 -pg. Python 3 what is that? GI? NTPsec. NTP dig. And I can always reinstall this, it's not a big deal. Okay, I already tried that. Already tried that. Okay, sudo apt remove --purge. Skip this from my feet. Oh, sub over there. Okay. Python 3 -ppg Python 3 -gi ntpsec dash dig python 3 dash vi pyro ntpsec dash nt date python 3 dash pyro python 3 dash ntp Let's see if I can paste that into gedit. Okay, cool. Let's see if I can purge that. And then what we'll do is okay, we've got NTP. God damn it. Alright, we'll do another apt update. Refresh that. Okay, we're reinstalling all the stuff. And it errored out again. That's annoying. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to probably reinstall this. Not a big deal. Need a help? What do you need help with? You're looking for psychiatric help. That's not the kind of help we offer around here. I'm building my dream car in 1971 Charger. I almost finished the engine of the transmission, the interior. The last thing is the car color. I need some suggestions. Have you ever looked into a pearlescent paint color? You know, the kind that does the color shifting and all that? I've always liked those. Those look really great. Like a pearlescent blue that can turn into a purple at the right angle. Like that kind of thing. It's a little bit of money, but I think it looks sweet and look a little bit different. That's just my 2 cents. I'm broke for that. You're broke and you're building a car. No, I'm not trying to hate here, but I'm like, car ain't exactly a cheap hobby. I mean, Paint ain't cheap, period, on a car, to be honest. I mean, you can always go with the traditional black. Go for a blue. Like a powder blue. But, yeah. It's going to be an interesting project. I do like the Chargers. Did you go manual or did you do an automatic? Like, what did they have? Like a 3-speed automatic, I think, was it back in the day? Could be wrong there. I think it was a 3-speed. I don't think it was a 4-speed. DR6060 manual transmission. Nice. What is that? 6-speed, I take it? Not too familiar on cars and stuff like that. Well, at least, you know, the building side of them. I know enough about cars. So, you know, no blinker fluid ain't a thing. Do my own oil and everything. I know more about the, Jeeps and stuff. I modified my old Jeep and everything with a lift and level. Removed the rev limit on it. From the 2013 Mustang. That's an interesting mashup. So you're telling me your car is going to have the soul of something that plows right into, you know, crowds like a heat-seeking missile? I can just imagine it now. Feed me, crowds! I have the transmission of a Ford Mustang! Please tell me you know that joke. Engine is 6.4 supercharger. Let's see. I've always wanted a 67 Charger. The 71s are nice, but the 67, I've just had an affinity for that year for some reason. Okay, so let's see. Thinking about Mopar blue color. Could be worthwhile. Where the hell is... Oh, my crimp connector's over here. I'm really hoping that I don't have to change the CPU on this thing. That would suck ass. Alright, let's see what we can do. There we are. Looking for that. Need my little SD card reader. Get that Belkin. Come on, you little bastard of an SD card. Okay. the laptop's charging at a decent rate right now. Okay, so MNT reform tools. So now we're looking up how to set up the OS. Okay, so I need to grab on the GitLab. Let's see if we can explore. Reform, system image, reform, pocket reform. Okay, let's see if we can... Oh, that's the actual MNT reform. Okay, let's grab the pre-built image. IMX8M Plus. There we are. Let's download the IMX8M Plus image. Alright, so how to build images. We don't need to build the image. Unzip. Identify the name of your SD card. Copy the image to your SD card using sudo dd. Okay. So let's get my SD card out here, and then we can pop that command in. Take this SD card over here. Wrong way. There we go. All right. Oh. Was that it? I guess this is the exact same one that I had before. All right. Let's get this. Hold on. Where, oh, where? Did I not make an images folder locally? Okay. We're gonna do that. All right. And we're gonna be unzipping. Okay, we're gonna unzip that file or extract it. And try to get this guy going. All right. LS Black. DD. Okay. Sudo DD if equals pocket reform of equals dev/SDD, block size of 8 megs, status equals progress. Get my password. And let's give that a second. This will take a second because it's copying over quite a bit of data. How big is this image? 4.8 gigabytes. Yeah, that's going to take a second. Welcome to the world of tech where we're always tinkering and it's a lot of hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. That's most of my job. All right. On another note, while we're waiting for that, because that's going to take a while, I've been working on this laptop here. Now, I would plug it in, but right now I'm doing my tests on the integrated GPU, and one thing I found out is that the integrated GPU is only wired up to the internal display. The external displays only work with the NVIDIA GPU. Not something unique to this laptop, but it is something worthwhile noting. Now, occasionally, I notice that, for some reason, Pop! OS, when it resumes, the keyboard doesn't want to work. So I have to, like, in the shutdown menu, in the login menu, hit basically for it to suspend, and then it works again. Now, battery-wise, with the integrated GPU, it lasts a lot longer. It gets very quiet. It sips on power comparatively. And it's still a beast of a laptop, don't get me wrong. I'm really impressed with the Ryzen 8845HS on here. The only thing that's annoying me is, because this has a 2560 by 1440 display, it's so nice. I look at my 1080 monitors, and they look like crap comparatively, so I'm actually, like, thinking of going to 2K monitors on my Linux box. At least for one of them. Probably both of these, because, like, the panel's starting to come undone, I noticed. Just a little bit at the top. I'll put some, like, tape on there later on to, like, just hold them up. 2K OLED. Do you know how much those cost, though? I don't know if I could go OLED. Like, I found some that are, like, $200-300 that are not so bad. But this IPS panel is really great. I've been loving it. There's only been really minor complaints overall with this laptop here, to be honest. Like, rename all your coworkers' photos to huge.jpg or variant names. Why would you do that? But, like, yeah, the build quality of this laptop is amazing. I got 27-inch 2K 360Hz for $600. Yeah, see, that's a little expensive because I want to replace 2 monitors. And that's like $1,200 right there. And I'm already looking at close to $1,000 upgrade for the MNT Pocket Reform with the RK3588. So, but overall, I am loving this laptop. It's super snappy. It's super quiet. And Yeah, like, it just does a really great job. IPS panels are still pretty good. Oh yeah, they're fantastic. So, I did have an issue with this laptop yesterday. It was a really weird one. I managed to fix it really easily. Um, the fan was not turning on, and the CPU was getting really warm. That it was thermal throttling. So what I did to fix that was I turned off the fan controls in Tuxedo Control Center. Then I turned it back on after I rebooted the machine. And it's been fine ever since. Um, but like, yeah, right now, the fan's completely off. It's at 37 degrees Celsius. Um, yeah, I'm loving this laptop. Now, admittedly, when you have the NVIDIA GPU on, it will get kind of warm. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is keep the NVIDIA GPU off until I need it. Because I don't need the NVIDIA GPU most of the time. Yeah. And I am working on some videos that, uh, will be coming out soon. I just got to get around to editing them. I didn't do any editing today because I had to do, uh, work. Not work. Had to go get groceries. Then I cleaned out the, uh, bathroom that I was talking about earlier. I really needed to clean the bathroom. It wasn't like disgusting. It was just, when you just throw shit in your closets and everything, and eventually you just build up and it's a mess and you can't find anything. I found like 9 tubes of toothpaste because I just bought 4 today. So 5 of them were in there and I didn't realize it because I just bought 4 today from Costco. Um, What processor are you running? This is a Ryzen 7 8845HS, which comes with a Radeon 780M laptop, GPU, and then it also has the NVIDIA 4070 in here. Oh yeah, it is really sweet. Got an RGB backlit keyboard. The only issue that I noticed is it's either on or off, whereas Tuxedo OS let me have like 25, 50, 75, and 100%. So, nitpicky issue. Um, like I said, the only issue I had was with the fan earlier. Now I did notice this neat feature in here. If I go to settings and I go to battery charging options, was it battery charging options? Yeah, you actually had 3 different charging profiles, so you could do the full capacity, like gives it to 100% to charge, reduced capacity, which reduces the charging speed and battery capacity to about 90% for a better battery lifespan, and 80%, which is for stationary use. So this actually can let you condition the system however you want, set up profiles to set up the fan curves and everything. Like it's really one of the nicest laptops, period. Um, Windows and Mac included, because of the amount of power that I have over this guy. Now, the other thing that I'm playing with on this laptop is I'm playing with the Florp browser. I don't know if you've ever heard of Florp. Florp is what the hell do you want, dogs? God damn it, Barack. Yes, Barack. Ow! I love how Ari comes over here when he's tired of Barack's shit. Hey, would you... This is not your show, buddy. Every time, once a stream, Fuckhead comes in. Florp seems solid, but I hate the name. I do too. But I have a feeling it is Japanese. Because if you look at the startup page, it's got a bunch of kanji there. I'd plug the device in, but like I said, I'm running on the AMD internal GPU, and it doesn't display video out. Now, the battery life when you do the AMD side of it is pretty nice. I haven't done a full barrage of tests on it, like just sit there and work on it all day long. But I'm going to be working on that throughout the week. Overall, I've been loving this laptop. I just got it set up with all the apps that I used last night. So I've got my Visual Studio Code, there's Slack, there's Teams. No, I don't have Teams. I need to install Teams. Well, the Linux version of it. I've got Discord, Element, Thunderbird, Florp, Firefox, Brave, um, Visual Studio Code, my virtual machines, Proton Mail, Proton Pass, Bitwarden. I've got Proton VPN on here as well, Kden Live. I also got Steam on here. Where's Steam? Did I not pin that? I don't think I did. Oh, I also got OBS on here. Yep. We're gonna set that up. Because what I was gonna do for one of my tests was I was trying to think of which one of my games can put a decent enough load on an NVIDIA 4070. And I think I'm gonna do Black Myth Wukong. Is that an Asus TUF? Hell no! What's up, Charlie? It's a Tuxedo computer. Yeah, I love this laptop here. So, I'm trying to download Black Myth Wukong on it, because I think that's probably in my arsenal the heaviest game. It's got a similar lip above the monitor as my Asus TUF. I think that's kind of the style they're going for with a lot of laptops and stuff. I don't know why. Well, I guess it makes sense to put the hinge a little bit further up because so many people bump the hinge. I mean, if you put it right on the corner, you're bound to, like, hit it, whereas, like, yeah. Gotta make it look rough. That's what she said. But yeah, so I gotta install Black Myth Wukong. So that's gonna take a little bit of a while because my issue is that it puts itself to sleep when you're not using it, so it's not like I can just let it be and do that thing. But the reason why I wanted to test Black Myth Wukong is obviously gaming on a laptop with a laptop keyboard isn't that great. Just period. No matter what you do, it's a laptop keyboard versus a mechanical keyboard. Okay, so this is going to be a good test for me because I can use an Xbox 360 controller and then remove the whole issue of needing to have a mouse next to it and everything. And then what we'll probably do is I will attach the HDMI. See, here's the thing. I gotta think about this. I need to capture some video on it. What I might end up doing is use OBS on the machine to record Black Myth for the YouTube video, so I at least have some segments there. I mean, the lip where the webcam is. Oh, this? Yeah. The webcam, I just haven't tested it out yet. Although, let's see. Nope, it's not installed. Let's install cheese. Sudo apt install cheese. Okay, cheese. It's not a great webcam, but it's not a bad webcam. Like, I'm definitely washed out in this. It is kind of responsive, though, at least, so you can see me talking on it. But, let me see this. Testicles, testicles, 1, 2, 3, testicles, testicles, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that mic sounds like it's between my crotch. It's not the greatest. To be fair, I'd probably be connecting this with my DJI mic. But I just love the fact that this laptop, I can throw... it feels like I can throw a lot of things at it. What code languages are you proficient in? I mostly just do Python and Bash, and occasionally Batch and PowerShell. I wouldn't say I'm proficient per se, but I can bang my head against the wall and figure my way around things, if that makes sense. Bash is PowerShell stuff. No, Bash is Linux. Bash is Linux stuff for sure. Okay, let's see. This is gonna take a while to download. I'll probably set this up in my office tomorrow while I'm working so I can keep monitoring it. Okay, let's at least put that away for now. And, is the SD card upside down? I think it was. Okay. Let's shut this laptop down and turn it back on. Booting the NVMe. Not the NVMe, the SD. Okay. README flashing. Okay, it's reading off of the SD card immediately. Okay, cool. So we're going to give that a second. Okay, it is slowly booting. Okay, assuming you boot MNTW and unstable from the SD card, you will find a script reform flash rescue that you can run using sudo after connecting to internet in some way. The script will download the latest system image and flash it to your eMMC, essentially performing a factory reset. Okay, cool. Your key, time zone, America, New York. Alright, let's set up the account. What's up, Kara? Alright. We've got this guy charging and connected to the internet. Alright. Let's see if we can... Okay. Reform. Setup. Encrypted NVMe /dev MMC black. Okay, so black 0. Okay, so we need sudo reform setup encrypted NVMe /dev MNC black block 2. And let's see if this will do the trick. Oh. Okay, so what would you recommend for a home firewall solution? pfSense is a great solution. I've used it for many years. There is definitely a bit of a learning curve. There's also OpenSense, which is a little bit easier to get up and running, but pfSense has more bells and whistles. I don't know how else to say it other than that. Okay. Let's see. Let's try just getting sudo reform /rescue. Alright, so we are re-downloading the entire image again for this laptop. I'm just going to reflash it. It's going to take its sweet ass time to do this. But yeah, this is toasty. This is definitely toasty in the back. So I am curious if it's the image or if it's the network chip. Because it just established a connection. But, you know. $100 to carry a full-size fridge into frame. No. Alright, let's see. So, it's now copying. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Not doing this for the money. I'm doing this for the fun and tinkering with people. Okay, so we gotta replace all the contents. Okay, so we are updating the image on the MNT Pocket Reform. I should actually install the NVMe in here. That should make things just a little bit more snappy. But actually, I did have some NVMe SSDs that I could install upstairs. They were Samsung half terabyte ones that I didn't what's the word? I didn't use from other machines I had, so they've barely been used. Let's, out of curiosity, now that I have a new image, I'm just curious. If the Wi-Fi is going to crash. Okay, CNN is taking its sweet time to load. Yep. That network just crashed. I have a feeling it's the overheating. Because this is abnormally warm right now. Like, this is feeling warmer than it was with the laptop when it was overheating last night, the other laptop. We'll figure that out. Like I said, there is currently a, what's the word? Aluminum backplate that PCBWay is in the middle of manufacturing. So, I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. For now, at least, I have the, you know what? I'm curious. Because the EMMC is on the board as well, I wonder if because it's actively hitting that it is, causing an extra load. But then no, the SD card was just there. It was running off the SD card, and the SD card still did the same thing. Perplexing. I'll be so happy once I get this laptop working the way I intend. Because I've always wanted a small laptop like this. And hardware-wise, it's great. I'm just only having these Wi-Fi issues. Although, I wonder if I can reposition the Wi-Fi antenna. That's the one thing I'd like to figure out. If I can somehow stretch that antenna outside and improve it, that could actually be nice. Either way, it's a great little note-taking device. I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to get this little new laptop fixed. Little MNT pocket reform. Was just tinkering with the thermal pads on it, and I just soldered in new connectors to the battery, so I fixed the battery issue at least. But now I need to get the Wi-Fi figured out, which is causing me a pain in the ass. I think it's overheating, and I'm just trying to make do until my aluminum backplate that I had commissioned from PCBWay comes in. I probably won't be here for another week or two. Yeah, I love this little laptop. It's great. It's fully open source and right to repair. It's not as powerful as the other new laptop that I got. Tuxedo computer over here. Yeah. This is a beast, this laptop over here. But they did laser engrave my logo in here, as well as on the super key. So if you notice, my logo's there as well. I love both of these laptops for different reasons. This is, I think, going to be the perfect little coffee shop laptop once I can get the Wi-Fi issues situated. Now, I do at least have a cell modem that I plan to install, but I don't want it always connected to cell. Old tinkering with tech, but I do get overwhelmed. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, you just missed the beginning of the stream when I was soldering in the JST connector adapters to this. Serious bugs of Kmod resolved in some version. Let's see if this breaks anything when I do this update. So we're updating the little MNT pocket reform right now. I can't wait till the aluminum backplate comes in. I think that's going to fix a lot of the overheating issues, but it's also going to turn it into kind of a Faraday cage for the cell signal. So what I may end up doing is ordering a new side piece. And what I was thinking of doing, because there's this little gap on the side, I may take a little drill, punch a hole to route it through, and then if I can buy another one of these side pieces from them, which I think I can, I was gonna run the antenna on the outside here. I think that's a feasible way to fix things, but we shall see. It's doing a lot of updates. 64% of all these updates. The battery's at 50%. That's the most I've actually seen this battery go the entire time I've had it. It's at 4.1 volts. So I'm probably going to have this charge overnight. But yeah, it's a nice little laptop, hardware-wise. I may also switch over to the A311D on this if the IMX8M Plus is the actual issue. Yeah, because this is toasty. Extremely toasty, like uncomfortably warm when I touch that back. And I just tried replacing the thermal pads. I taped down the back, the display connector, to hopefully fix that issue. It's annoying. It's annoying to say the least. But we shall figure this out in due time. I've been waiting for that laptop for a little over a year. I think I can wait just a little bit longer to get it working to the ways I want. I'm trying to find the power adapter for this. It's down here. So it does use a barrel connector, but yeah, you can get overwhelmed really easily with a lot of tinkering. For me, I just didn't get around to doing the battery upgrade for, well, not upgrade, but replacement for a week. That was more so because I was just tired after doing that. Which Linux am I currently using? I'm using Pop OS. Pop OS is what I default to, but this is running Debian Unstable. But this laptop is running Pop OS. This tower is running Pop OS over here. I just like that operating system. And the only reason I can't show the screen right now is this guy's running on the internal GPU because I'm doing some tests on it. So, yeah, but overall, I really love this laptop over here. Yeah, it's a beast of a laptop. I also do bring it to work with me because we do need to bring in a personal laptop as well as our work laptop, because once in a while I need to actually do some tinkering on a device that isn't work related to make sure, hey, is it our security system or is it something else? Yeah. CPU is just uncomfortably warm. And it makes me think that that's part of the issue. Okay, are you going to connect to Wi-Fi? I am kind of annoyed that they didn't do tests enough to see, like, is this going to actually be an issue with, the iMX8M Plus, which we did have shipped. But yeah, this was a little bit of a tinkering stream. Gonna see if, I just didn't expect you to use a beginner Linux and not Gen 2 LFS or something like that. Well, Linux from scratch is not meant to be a daily driver, and there's no such thing as a beginner Linux. There's ones that may be okay for beginners to start out using, but I use Red Hat at work, I use Ubuntu at work, I use Debian at work. Pop! OS works plenty fine for a lot of what I need, because at the end of the day, that's not the operating system I'm using. It's just I like it themed the way it is, and then just use my KVM QEMU, run my apps, and the apps are mostly what I need. And at the end of the day, Arch, Gen 2, all of them are running the same shit, and Gen 2's not that much faster. The reality is, when it comes to Gen 2, you're going to be compiling and recompiling and compiling and recompiling, and it just wastes a lot of time. Once you actually, get, like, beginners are the ones that really like to distro hop a lot. Veterans are just like, oh yeah, I use this distribution. That's what I need. Well, the quote-unquote Linux elitists a lot of times just need to go touch grass. What's up, Punjabi Curry? Alright, yeah. Alright, so let's see. MNT Re. Let's check what they have in the shop. Because what I think I'm going to need to do is the A311D bundle. The A311D fast CPU and GPU, Wi-Fi 5. Yeah, so if you use the A311D, that might be an option. Not buying anything right now, I'm just seeing what it might cost if I were to do something different. Not the MNT reform, I need the Pocket reform. Form flexing bars. Yeah, so they don't have the side panels like I was hoping to have. Opinions on the new Mozilla Terms of Service drama. I have a new YouTube video that's going to be coming out hopefully this week. I just got to edit it. Here, I can show you. It's recorded. I'll talk about this. Basically, the long and short of it is, I did talk about this a little bit on TikTok as well. There's a video, but a lot of people are reading too much into it for the drama and the clicks. So let me put it this way. A lot of the people that are talking about the Mozilla terms of service, they're not people that have to deal with legalese and compliance all that much. I do, as someone in cybersecurity. And what I mean by, legalese and compliance is that Mozilla was trying to create a universal terms of service to comply with things like the California Consumer Privacy Act, which has a very, very broad definition of what selling is. And this is a problem with a lot of jurisdictions. And this is why a lot of people don't care for politicians and lawyers, because if you've ever read a lot of contracts out there, like I have, they feel like doublespeak very often. And a lot of companies have bit themselves in the butt with these universal terms of service. So Mozilla made a term of service, basically, trying to just say, hey, yeah, you give us a royalty-free license and all that, in reference to the fact that you are going to be sending data to Mozilla. Whether it's telemetry, it's, things to diagnose the machine or all that, or even the information that you're sending for, doing, searches and everything like that with the search engine. So it's much ado about nothing, to be honest. And people are just overhyping it. And, because by the time people will actually have the sensible videos out there and everything, the sensationalism will have made it 3 times around the world. All the things people are complaining about with, like, Firefox is giving your data, it's optional. You can turn all that off. It's by no means in comparison to, the bullshit that is Opera GX. Now, Opera GX is an absolute dumpster fire when it comes to privacy rights and everything. I wouldn't be too worried about Firefox's terms of service and everything. Like I said, you can disable all of that. Out of the box, they give you options to disable a lot. Things that could track you. Like, right when I just reinstalled Firefox on my brand new laptop, out the box, it was offering me Privacy Badger from EFF, URL, cleaning and things like that, and I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think it's a lot of people just trying to get clicks and reading too much into things. Opera go from a really nice competition against IE to this BS. Well, they lost their way in 2013. In 2013, they stopped becoming an actual alternative and then adopted Chromium. In 2016, they were acquired by a group of Chinese companies. Not hating on them because they're Chinese. I'm hating on them because $600 million is a good chunk of change to buy any company for, that makes you raise an eyebrow as to what makes you think that you're worth acquiring for $600 million, and what makes you think that you're going to get your money back doing that. Whereas you can say the Mozilla Firefox browser is run by a non-profit foundation. Do I think their CEO and stuff gets a little bit overpaid and things like that? Yeah, that's a reasonable argument. But I think their mission is a sound one. I just think people want to jump into drama way too much, rather than looking into things. But I digress. Anyway, yeah. That's my 2 cents now. I finished my little soldering project. I'm waiting for PCBWay to give me the new backplate that should fix the thermal issues on this, and hopefully should fix the Wi-Fi issues. If that still doesn't fix it, I'm probably gonna buy the A311D from MNT, so that I can get this working, at least somewhat, as a notepad. And the A311D is supposedly faster, so that should be good. But yeah, we at least were partially successful. It looks like right now the MNT Pocket Reform is charging. So I'm going to let this charge overnight just so that I can see how fully charged it is. Now, I did see some people say what you have to do to recalibrate this. What is this mini laptop? This is the MNT Pocket Reform. It's a fully open source, fully right to repair laptop. Like, everything about this is documented. You can even get the schematics if you want to make your own. I backed this project a year and a half ago or so. It's made out of solid aluminum. It's got a mechanical keyboard, Kale switches, Raspberry Pi 2040 system controller. This one ships with the iMX8M Plus CPU with 8 gigabytes of memory and a 128 gigabyte eMMC. You can also fit an M.2 SSD in there, an NVMe, and then I'm going to be attaching a 4G LTE modem in there as well, so I will have cellular data on this. It has a SIM card slot in the motherboard as well. So, 7-inch screen, 1920 by 1080, USB-C PD charging, IX Industrial for the Ethernet, so that's why you've been seeing this little adapter here. So that's the Ethernet cable. And yeah, it's a nice laptop. It's my little dream laptop that I've been wanting for years to have as a portable laptop. Right now, the only issue I'm running into is I think the Wi-Fi chip has been overheating in this. Which is causing the Wi-Fi to crash every so often within like 10-15 minutes under load. So that's the only issue I'm running into right now. I just replaced the batteries in here. One of the battery packs I think was defective because it was off by 0.3 to 0.4 volts from the other pack. So I just replaced both of them with 2 batteries that I picked up. And so far they seem to be charging, but I'm letting this charge overnight to see how far we get. It's at 55% right now, which is higher than I've ever seen this laptop get while I've had it. Like before it was about 30%. So, yeah. Update on the MP3 player. Oh, it's great. I'm using it daily. No complaints. It's great. I just got to get around to setting up my M3U playlists and adding them so that way I can get my music on there. So what I think I'm going to do is use is it worth the price point? Yeah, it is. Because if you look at audiophile music players, $250 is a steal. The other music players I was looking at, like the Fios and stuff like that, I think were like $500-600. And if you're thinking about getting an iPod Classic and, doing the mods and everything to make it equal, it's about the same price from all the iPod Classics I've done, like this guy. I fixed this guy up. I probably put like $200 or $300 into this altogether. Between the battery upgrade, the SD card, and the various upgrades and mods I've done. Whereas the Tangara is brand new. I think the Zune's cheaper as of right now. Maybe when the Zune breaks for me. Yeah, it is a little bit expensive, but it's a nice audiophile device. Plus, it can drive these 250 ohm headphones that usually need an amp. And it can do it pretty well. So, that is a plus. It is an actual, like, proper audiophile grade device that's open source, and I think it's great. The scroll wheel can be a little bit much when you're trying to go through many different songs, but I think what I just have to focus on is making the playlist, but I haven't gotten around to doing that because I've been tinkering with so many other projects. But at least right now, I've got all my FLAC songs on there. So I've got Linkin Park, I've got, Wu-Tang Clan, and, DJs, and a few other artists that I care for. What I'll eventually probably do is rip my music off of Apple Music and then make playlists on them. Make sure I update the software version of my phone when I can. I am looking forward to upgrade to. Wait, what? Put Bad Bunny. I've never really listened to Bad Bunny. The honest truth, also, never really listened to Taylor Swift. I know you're gonna hate me. You're not gonna believe it, but I've never listened to Taylor Swift. Nothing against her, just never been inclined to. The S25 Ultra when I can. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at getting a Pixel 10. Maybe this summer, possibly after DEF CON. And I was thinking of finally moving on from the Apple iPhone. I think the 15 might be the final Apple iPhone I ever get, and see about transferring to a Pixel 10. What phone are you rocking right now? I use an iPhone 15, and then I also have a Pixel 7a with Graphene OS. And I also have a Samsung S23. So if you're ever curious how I do TikTok, I have a phone just for social media. Like, this is the only phone I have that has TikTok on it. Why? It's not because I think, like, TikTok is spying on me or anything. It's because it's an ADHD hellhole. And, in order to make sure I can stay focused on tasks and everything, it's best to leave this on a different phone and then shove this in a drawer in my workspace. I'm done with UF's phone. Getting CMF phone. What? What's a CMF phone? I'm not familiar with that. I should probably check the... Damn, my password manager videos almost got 24K views. My torrenting is totally legal video got 25K. VPNs are overhyped, oversold, misunderstood, almost 100K views. My opera video is closing in on the 500K views. What are you talking about, CMF? Not familiar with that. I'm kind of a basic bitch when it comes to phones and stuff like that. I just use my phone as a phone. Oh, CMF phone from Nothing. Yeah, I looked at Nothing, but I like Graphene OS a lot, which is why I'm looking at the Pixel 10. So, I have a Pixel 7a. That's what I've been tinkering with. I'm considering a Pixel 10 Pro. It depends on the screen size. I don't like large phones. Like, even this, to me, is too big. I mean, even the iPhone 15 is a little too big to me, to be honest. I mean, yeah. Curious. I really wanted them to make graphene for more phones. So I got into it with the graphene developers on Mastodon. So I will be honest and say I like the graphene project. The graphene developers are kind of dicks, puritanical dicks. And they didn't like the fact that I was reviewing this phone, the Purism Librem 5, which I still don't recommend using it. But they didn't like that I was, reviewing it and even having it in the same breath as Graphene OS. And they didn't understand when I said, you understand not everyone has access to a Pixel in this world. Like, there's a lot of places people can't easily buy a Pixel phone. And you don't allow people to use Graphene OS on other phone systems. And I'm like, and what if their threat model is not just to de-Google the phone, but not use Google hardware altogether? And they didn't get that through their damn heads. Yeah, their community management sucks. They need to learn about PR. They got into it with me. They got into it with Louis Rossman. They got into it with several people. Like, I even had people coming back to me like, Chief, I didn't believe you that it was that bad. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of people need to understand is this is first world privilege. Everyone thinks of it like, oh, well, I got access to a Pixel. And I'm like, buddy, most people don't have access to a lot of Google services like Google Voice or a lot of the things we take for granted for free. So you got to understand that not everywhere in the world you're going to get a Google Pixel. And that's my main complaint with Graphene OS is they're not really that open to checking out the other solutions that are out there and understanding the threat model is not just de-Googling your device, but getting a device that you can then de-Google. Like, I would like to see them develop for like a Samsung. Samsung is in more markets than Google Pixel phones are. Nothing phones or other phones. You get my drift. Yeah. Kara said they were very competitive. Yeah, I think you were there, Kara. You saw the back and forth that we had. But yeah, Louis Rossman got pissed off enough that he left Graphene. Now, to be fair, I'm not disrespecting Louis Rossman by any means necessary. He's done a lot of great good. But I think he sensationalizes things a little bit much too. Where, like, the whole Mozilla Firefox situation, with the terms of service and everything, he was like, I'm done, I'm switching, all that, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, but this situation was much ado about nothing. And I found it interesting as a guy that has to deal with as much legalese as he does in the right to the repair movement, that he didn't understand where Mozilla was coming from on these things. Do I think that it was a horrible miscommunication? Absolutely. Do I think Mozilla executives are overpaid? Possibly. Absolutely. That's a worthwhile argument to have. But at the end of the day, Mozilla Foundation is the only one that's doing work right now that holds up against the Google monopoly in the same way as we had to fight the Microsoft Internet Explorer monopoly. And there's no real alternative other than something that's Chromium-based or Firefox-based. That's the unfortunate reality. In 3 years, I want to de-Google and de-Samsung my Z Fold 6, but scared the camera and Google Pay no work. So, yeah, is Mozilla still private and safe? Yes. I'm using Firefox on my devices now. I'm also playing with Florp, and I've used LibreOffice in the past, but yeah. What are your thoughts on Endeavor OS? I haven't used Endeavor. I'm lazy, and I do a lot of work, so I don't really do distro hopping. I have the one distro that works, Pop OS, and I just stick with it right now until the winds shift. I've been on it since Xubuntu, Xubuntu, with XFCE. About quite a few things, but privacy isn't really one of those things. Yeah, you can make complaints about Firefox in a few things. Like, the Gecko engine a few years ago used to be really horrible until they switched over to the Quantum engine, which was their improvement on the Gecko engine. But yeah, now they're working on, the Servo project and stuff like that. But yeah, the Mozilla Foundation, I think, does a lot of great things. Yes, they make some missteps, but we're all humans, so we're all bound to make mistakes. That's the honest truth of how I look at things. What do you think of Flipper Zero? Where is my Flipper? Okay, I literally just saw it like a few minutes ago. Ah. It was underneath my Jew beanie. Yeah, I got a Flipper Zero. They're a fun toy. And I'm not joking when I say they're a toy. What I mean by that is they're not doing anything novel. They are just, the novel idea of it is how compact all the tools are in this device and the extensibility. But you can do any of the features with a Flipper Zero without a Flipper Zero. Oh, by the way, I'm working on a project that I'll soon have the hardware together for stingray hunting. You know, IMSI catchers that law enforcement uses. We're going to be looking at ways that we can possibly detect that. EFF released their Ray Hunter project a little while ago, so I have a hotspot that they've actually figured out can work with it, and I'm going to get that set up. And I also have an SDR as well, so we're going to be doing some software-defined radio as well, you know, to see what we can do on that front as well. So we'll be playing with that a little bit. What do you think about the web browsers Arc and Zen? Isn't Arc that bullshit one that didn't have a Linux version or something like that? Look, if it ain't open source, I ain't fucking touching it. And I don't know about Zen. I think Arc was that one that actually let you, like, it was like all the developers were raving about it. My landlord has cameras all their house. Will it jam the cameras? You mean jam? No, and just to be very clear, jamming signals is illegal. You can do that with a Wi-Fi deauth and everything, but that is legal. That is illegal. Only ever tinker and mess with your own shit. If these are your landlords and your landlord has, like, get written in the agreement and everything, don't do that. No, it's going to get you in trouble. Like, federal crime trouble. FCC, no fuck around. But only if Wi-Fi. Yeah, like what Kara said. Are CrowdStrike salespeople annoying? No, they give me free shit. Wait, what? I'm just gonna tell you, if you don't stop with that shit in chat, I'm gonna block both of you. This ain't the time nor the place. And I say this as someone who has family that's both Israeli and Palestinian. Because I'm just gonna say this. Screw Hamas, screw Netanyahu. They both should go to hell. Which vendor calls the most? Okta. Okta probably bothers me the most, even though I don't use it. Most cameras have SD card in them, so even if you deauth, that could still record. That's why I try to find doorbell cameras with SD card to code backrifter. The Zen browser is open source, and it's a fork of Firefox, not a privacy-focused browser. It has privacy features, though. Okay, I haven't played with Zen. I already have enough the words. I already have enough browsers to play with between Florp and LibreWolf and Brave and Firefox. Those are the 4 I keep on my machines. Florp is kind of a pretty browser. It's a Firefox fork as well. But I'm kind of a basic bitch and keep going back to Firefox. I mean, I've been using Thunderbird for my email for over 20 years, so once you find something that works, it sticks with it. But it is getting late, everyone. It is 11:45 over here, so I am going to start wrapping up. Make sure, if you haven't already, to follow me on all of my socials. I am on Blue Sky, I'm on Mastodon, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitch, and I'm on YouTube. And don't forget, if you haven't already, to join the Discord and the Mastodon, the Matrix server as well. I love all of you. Happy hacking. Stick around for the raid if you're over on Twitch, and I will see you all Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday this week. Just so you know, this Thursday, probably won't be a stream. I got my local DEF CON group that I have skipped out on a while, and I'm going to try to hit that up. So this Thursday there might not be a stream. But anyway, see you around. Stick around for the raid.